All right, here we go. The bell is rung. This match is underway. It is Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes. Randy Orton has the size advantage over Carmelo Hayes, but Carmelo Hayes really does make up for it in every other category. He has charisma. He has it. There's a reason that the WWE Universe refers to him as him. And Randy Orton saying, hey, here we go. And there's one thing for sure, if there's one thing that Carmelo Hayes can take away from this, is that he's going to learn a lot from Randy Orton, what it's like to step inside the ring with a 14-time world champion. What a slap to the back of the head. Ultimate disrespect. You're going to talk about getting kicked out of the locker room. The absolute disrespect to what many call in the locker room a locker room leader. Disrespecting the Viper Randy Orton. That is the last thing you want to do. And I think Carmelo Hayes is starting to realize that, hey, maybe I messed up. Maybe I should reconsider. But he's like, you know what? Screw it. And then pushed Orton. Orton with a boot to the midsection. Now Orton really working on Carmelo Hayes. Randy Orton really bringing the fight to Carmelo Hayes. Huge uppercut to Hayes. Orton is bringing the fight. Orton really picking things up, sending Carmelo Hayes up and over the top to the outside. This is why you do not mess with Randy Orton. There's a reason they call him the Apex Predator of WWE. Time after time, we've seen Randy Orton take out the very best that WWE has to offer. And Randy Orton, this is that patented backdrop onto our announce desk. Oh, but Carmelo Hayes lands on his feet. Look at that. Carmelo Hayes counters, lands on his feet. Carmelo Hayes stands tall for now, but Orton chop block, sweeps the leg. Carmelo Hayes lands on his spine on the announce desk. That's just how dangerous Randy Orton can be. You don't want to take your eyes off the Viper, not even for one split second. Orton rolls back into the ring to break the count and rolls right back out. And now this time Orton back drop. Suplex onto our announce desk. And again, a second one just tosses him and he falls over. Randy Orton rolls back in the ring and the Viper is standing tall. Carmelo Hayes in a world of hurt. Can Carmelo Hayes find his way back in this one? Or as Orton goes back after Carmelo Hayes, he goes back to the outside. And Orton is not done yet. Looking for a third one. And a third one bouncing off the announce desk. Orton stands tall. Stands tall. Will Orton advance to the semifinals on SmackDown? Is a King of the Ring quarterfinals match. And during commercial break, Carmelo Hayes took control of the Viper Randy Orton. And now Carmelo Hayes is in control. This is exactly what Carmelo Hayes needed. And he's going after that taped knee of Orton. And take a look at the springboard clothesline of Orton just moments ago. And Orton clinching onto the knee. That is not fully 100%. There's a reason that knee is taped. And that's the problem. When you have an injury and you have no choice but to tape it up, that's just a visible target to your opponent. And Carmelo Hayes knows that very well, and he's taking full advantage of it as he attacks the hamstring of Randy Orton as Orton is writhing in pain. Orton has fought through numerous injuries throughout his career, so Orton is extremely familiar being in this type of situation where his opponents are targeting an injured ligament. And Carmelo Hayes continues to work on the leg of Orton. Orton trying to break free. Now puts Orton's leg in between the ropes. Oh, stomps at the knee. Orton's face says it all. His face tells the pain that only his face could describe. Went for a pump kick. Orton got out of harm's way. Just barely got out of harm's way. And Orton is limping, but he's measuring up Carmelo Hayes in a clothesline and a second clothesline. This is where Randy Orton really picks things up. Oh, went for that power slam, but there is so much of Randy Orton to be seen that Carmelo Hayes has spent a lot of time watching his opponent, Randy Orton. And great feint, great fake out by Hayes as he measures up the Viper, Randy Orton. And went for a kick to Orton. Orton, snap, power slam. And that leads to more trouble. Hooks the leg. This one could be over. Carmelo Hayes kicks out at 2. And you don't want to get too cocky for Carmelo Hayes. Randy Orton just like that, able to turn things around. That's just how quick Orton can flip things around. You don't want to mess with the Viper. And this, what's coming up next, is vintage Randy Orton, but great counter from Carmelo Hayes, wrist control. And now kicks the knee of Orton. Double knees to the face of Orton. Connects. Hooks the leg. This one could be over. Oh, but Orton's still in this. Orton stunned. That caught Orton out of nowhere. And usually we say Orton catches people with an RKO out of nowhere, but that literally came out of nowhere. Carmelo Hayes trying to rip off the tape off the knee of Orton as he punches the side of the knee of Orton. Orton continuing to writhe in pain as Carmelo Hayes continues to work on that injured taped leg. And Carmelo Hayes has Orton right where he wants him as he heads up. Measuring up Randy Orton. What does Carmelo Hayes have in store? From the top. But Orton got out of harm's way. Oh, sends Orton. Orton sends Hayes to the ropes. And this is vintage Randy Orton. Snap. DDT from the middle rope into the mat. Carmelo Hayes goes head first. But Orton is moving very slow. With all the damage that's been done to his knee, Orton's going to have to push through. But we've seen this in the past from Randy Orton. He's always found a way to push through. And tonight might be no different as he uses the adrenaline that the crowd is giving him. As they look to see what they came to see. They want to see an RKO, which are the 3 most dangerous letters in all of professional wrestling. Carmelo Hayes, don't turn around. Not going to like the view. Countered. Carmelo Hayes, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Oh, had Orton, but Orton kicks out of 2. And now picks up the knee. Oh, Orton counters. Sends Hayes back. Orton ducks under. Springboard. But an RKO out of nowhere. From out of nowhere. You can't teach that time. He hooks the leg. And it's all over. Randy Orton is headed to the semifinals. Randy Orton with an RKO out of nowhere. And he is headed to the semifinals where he will meet Tama Tonga next week on Friday Night SmackDown.